20 times Karens face justice in 2024. These are probably among my favorite type of videos to watch. They're just so entertaining. Usually, like, it's some person who is just acting like a baby. They're like well into adulthood, but maybe they didn't get they couldn't get everything their way, or somebody's mere presence annoyed them, and then they flip out, acting like a toddler, and then they get their just desserts. I just find it so satisfying.
The whole restaurant literally rallied against this woman.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're examining infamous cases of the rudest, most entitled people, better known as Karens, to haunt us during 2024.
Here it is again. First, the customer throws the water,
Whoa.
then the coffee.
No way. No way. If that coffee I hope it wasn't hot. Regardless, he should be in big trouble for that. I mean,
Ice fired. To be a good security guard, a person should be brave and empathetic. Well, this person is definitely missing at least one of those qualities.
Every time I come in here.
Just stay away all the time.
Yeah.
I put a report for you.
I don't give a damn, lady.
In October 2024, Mike Chieto was at a McDonald's in Madison, Wisconsin during the morning. He recorded a security guard with the Star Protection and Patrol Company going off on a furious rant that was far too early in the day to deal with. The unidentified guard berated the staff for the apparent slow service. He then threatened the workers with ICE, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, commenting that he
wow. So he just assumed that they were there illegally. What an arsehole.
hoped that they all had their papers before challenging others to fight.
I hope everybody here got their papers, bro. I'm done with this shit. Put your phone down, take me outside. How about that? Put your phone down, take me outside. How about that?
Catch me outside. Now he's quoting like a teenager. What a baby. What a baby. You couldn't get, it took you, an extra 2 minutes to get your morning coffee. And he started crying.
When his employer was contacted and saw the clip, the guard was swiftly fired. Karen AF.
First Form's owner is
Well, play stupid games, eh?
receiving backlash from local police unions and officers for comments he made about not wanting female police officers patrolling streets.
Andy Frisella built the nutrition company First Form and created the workout 75-Day Hard Challenge. His success enabled him to work closely with police stations in St. Louis, Missouri to provide them with cash donations, classes, and secondary employment. With that connection, you'd expect Frisella to be respectful of cops, right? Nah. In September 2024, on his podcast, Real AF, he and co-host Davion Johnson discussed the traffic stop of NFL star Tyreek Hill. During it, Frisella went on a misogynistic rant against women officers, stating his belief they shouldn't be in the field as they emasculate men and make the situation worse.
In my opinion, women shouldn't be in the field and police officers. I just don't think they should be.
After receiving backlash, Frisella apologized. However, the police departments weren't satisfied and cut ties with the entrepreneur.
I would like to see what the women in his family, the women in his companies, and the women who drive his business think about his comments.
Firefighters.
What an idiot. Like, even if he believes that, right? As someone who has a contract with the police, he makes a lot of his money from his police contract and stuff. Why would he say something that would put that in jeopardy? It's so dumb, isn't it? Like,
Starting race fires. Firefighters often must remain calm when under pressure. As Benjamin Guild demonstrated in a viral video in August 2024, he's lacking in that area.
Why were you going 60 miles an hour in the fast lane?
I was not going 60 miles.
You were going 60 miles an hour.
No, I was not.
You were.
After a car accident in Lodi, California, Bath Touch recorded his interaction with the 20-year veteran. Guild opened with a load of accusations about Touch's driving before going on a racially charged and curse word-filled rant against Touch. Guild also seemed to imply that he couldn't be racist as he's a firefighter.
Firefighter, you
Yeah,
racist.
firefighter.
A racist firefighter.
When the Alameda County Fire Chief saw the video, he publicly criticized Guild and put him on leave while they investigated.
Behavior is not representative of...
No way. So his boss is a person of color? Brilliant. I hope that was leave without pay. And, you know, because sometimes they give them leave with pay, which is just like a paid vacation, right? It's not meant to be a reward, is it?
Who we are, or the department, or our values we strive to embody every day.
Door dashing slurs. Typically, when getting food delivered, it goes without incident. However, when Christina Derica got a DoorDash delivery to her home in Nashville, Tennessee in June 2024, her experience was a lot more eventful, but not in a good way. The driver placed the bag in front of her door before, for some bizarre reason, calling out a racial slur, taking a photo, then repeating the slur as he walked away.
What's going on with people? Like, just deliver the food. Like, why does he have to... He's not even talking to anybody unless he can see a picture of her through the, I don't know, through the Ring video doorbell. Like, why? Just deliver the food, dude.
Unfortunately for this racist, his horrible words were recorded on Derica's doorbell camera. Once the video went viral, Derica contacted DoorDash about the experience. Disturbed by the incident, the company fired the driver for his unacceptable behavior. Any excuse.
Because it's like, he must know how Ring video doorbells work. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe that's why he said what he said. Just like, what was his problem? Because he wasn't talking to anybody. He was just putting the food on the floor. I don't know why he felt the need to use that slur. Like, have you guys got any ideas?
To Karen. Entitlement doesn't get much more extreme than returning to a restaurant several days after getting an order to complain that a single chicken tender was missing. Well, that's what Talanya Carter did at a Jack in the Box in St. Louis, Missouri in July 2024. Amazingly, and likely sensing her Karen-ness, the manager gave Carter another tender, but she wasn't satisfied as she wanted ranch sauce with it. So Carter spat in the manager's face.
No. That is one of the worst things you can do to somebody, in my opinion. Spitting. Ugh.
Before leaving, the manager followed to record her license plate. Carter knocked them to the floor, got in her car, reversed over the worker's ankle, and then took off. For this bizarre attack, Carter was arrested and charged with assault. Grievous in Greece.
What was her problem? He gave her the tender. A lot of places would have just been like, you know, sorry, you've got no proof that we didn't give you the tender. But he did. Like, why did she do that?
No matter who you are, if you turn up late to catch a flight and boarding has been completed, you're not going to be allowed on. However, Lefteris Avianakis, a Greek politician, didn't like being told no after arriving too late to board his flight to Crete in Athens International Airport. When news broke, Avianakis apologized and denied he was violent, claiming it was only a verbal argument. However, security footage showed him aggressively grabbing the phone from an employee and pushing them. Avianakis, who'd held various ministerial roles in government, was soon expelled from the ruling New Democracy Party. Bad baggies.
We're learning more about what led to a lockdown at a local elementary school.
When Karens are about to face consequences for doing something bad, beware, as they often lash out dramatically to save themselves. In September 2024, Shakita Barfield was called to the Welsh Elementary School in Rockford, Illinois, to speak to the principal. However, during the meeting, several small baggies containing illegal substances fell from Barfield's clothing.
Wow, this is like next level dumb. Next level dumb. Like, even if you're, do what you want to do at home, whatever, like, no judgment from me, but to bring it into a school... What was she thinking? Was she planning to deal it at school or something? Did she have customers, that were taking class that she needed to see to at lunchtime?
Staff member picked up the bags. That's when police say Barfield started a fight and police were called.
When the principal stated his intention to call the police, Barfield exploded in rage. She attacked the principal, biting him and even attempting to strangle him with his own tie.
The staff member sustained multiple injuries but is expected to be okay.
This mayhem forced the school to go into lockdown. Unsurprisingly, Barfield was arrested and charged with several crimes.
I mean, she's probably going to get at least a year in prison for that. Talk about, like, just throwing a year away of your life.
a new racist.
A judge who makes life-altering decisions for families and those with disabilities, now accused of making racist comments and using shocking, derogatory language.
Judges are meant to be the honorable pillar of the justice system. Then there's Kathleen Ryan. In August 2024, she was removed from the docket in Oakland County, Michigan, after she was recorded going on racist and homophobic rants. The recordings were made by the probate court administrator, Edward Hutton, who stated these bigoted rants had been going on for years. During one of her speeches, Ryan announced,
"I can honestly say that, okay, I'm not systemically racist, I'm a new racist."
Which...
What the hell does that even mean? I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a historical, new, part, semi, like, just, you shouldn't, why is she?
Doesn't make her look good. Ryan also criticized the Black Lives Matter movement and black people in general, using curse words and claimed they're lazy. Not content with torching her career enough, she took shots at #MeToo and used a gay slur.
Is Judge Ryan fit to be on the bench?
No.
Absolutely not.
Clothing clash.
64
Absolutely. I mean, what kind of question was that? I mean, obviously not.
Year-old Alexander Zastakowicz appearing in front of a judge Monday morning, not even 48 hours after apparently approaching and berating a young couple.
Most people at a restaurant just want to get their food and eat in peace. Good luck if Alexandra Zastakowicz is there. In November 2024, Wasim Zaran and his pregnant wife went into a Panera Bread in Downers Grove, Illinois. Unfortunately, Zastakowicz appeared and questioned Zaran on his clothing and whether he was Palestinian. When he said he was, the Karen lost it as she began swearing at them.
Wow. Just because he was Palestinian, that's insane. Just for existing. Like, did he say anything? Because it didn't seem like he said anything to her to, like, provoke a reaction. Him just being there was enough to trigger her. That's crazy.
And she specifically asked, "Are you Palestinian?" And I said yes, and then she started getting physical.
She attempted to strike Zaran, at one point seemingly preparing to throw her hot drink at him before he blocked it. She even lunged at his wife before, once again, he stopped it. Most of the interaction was recorded by Zaran's wife. The police found Zastakowicz at her home and arrested her for her hate crimes.
The judge granted Zastakowicz pretrial release on the conditions that she won't contact the victims or visit the Panera where the incident took place.
Pepper spray prayer.
Man, there's so much I want to say, but I just can't.
In August 2024, Uber driver Shohel Mahmoud collected Jennifer Gilbo and her friend in New York City. During the journey, the Muslim driver began reciting a prayer in Arabic while waiting at the traffic lights. Suddenly, Gilbo lunged forward and sprayed Mahmoud with pepper spray, completely shocking her friend. The driver tried to escape. However, the car was still moving, so he had to get back in to hit the handbrake.
That is nuts. So he's driving the car and she pepper sprays him.
All while getting sprayed more. According to Mahmoud, when the friend asked why she did it, Gilbo stated it was because he was brown.
Mahmoud said,
"Dude, sometimes I can't believe what I hear." So him being brown, like, what do you guys think about that? Is that justification for pepper spraying him? Like, genuinely, if you think so, say why, because to me, this is pretty crazy.
Gilbo is heard telling her friend,
she's talking after a couple of seconds, he's brown. This is New York City. This is diverse people everywhere.
However, she denied it was racially motivated. Gilbo was arrested for the attack, which she has since pleaded not guilty to, and was fired from her public relations job.
The father of...
She works in public... I feel like some of these are, like, it's just too hard to believe.
3 says he's been working fewer hours since the attack out of fear for his own safety.
Hammer time.
Poor guy.
No one likes rising prices, but there are far better ways to deal with it than one guy did in June 2024.
Crazy.
Upon visiting the Taste of Heaven Espresso Bikini coffee stand in Seattle, Washington, a male Karen was livid that the price of his order had increased. So he verbally took it out on the barista and owner, Emma Lee, at the drive-thru. After she handed him his beverages, he threw the water and coffee at the window.
Here it is again. First, the customer throws the water, then the coffee.
Lee wasn't going to let...
I wonder if he would have did that if it was a guy. If it was like a big guy, do you reckon he would have did it? No chance. No chance. Like, like, if that was somebody that I cared about that he did that to, like a sister of mine or someone like that, I would be enraged. Can you imagine? So he just doesn't like the price going up and he threw his drinks at her. Like, fuck, what a piece of...
Let that tantrum go without repercussions. As the guy got...
Brilliant. Brilliant.
In the car, she leaned over and slammed a hammer on the windshield like Thor.
Absolutely.
On top of being banned from the stand, he's also been reported to the police.
Everyone around was very concerned for me.
The subway...
I love that she did that. I'm in full support of her doing that.
With a hankering for a sandwich at lunch, Gabriel Pizzullo walked into a Subway in Indianapolis, Indiana in March 2024. However, on top of the freshly baked bread smell, he was also greeted by a furious Daniel Saunders yelling at staff, throwing items and apparently spitting.
I'd walked in and he was visibly assaulting, throwing stuff.
As Saunders went to leave, Pizzullo employed his high school wrestling skills. Afraid that Karen might be looking to get something to hurt the worker, Pizzullo tackled him to the ground.
I didn't want to punch him or anything. I didn't want to hurt him too bad.
While Saunders tried to bite him, Pizzullo simply held the angry customer until the police arrived and took control of the situation, charging him for his tantrum. Hopefully, the Subway wrestling hero never has to pay for a sandwich again.
As for Gabriel, his reward, a free sandwich anytime he comes to visit.
Nice. Well done, fella. Good job.
Club.
Now, I think we all can agree that when our work shift is over, we want to get out of there.
Karens like to think everyone working in the service industry should accommodate their bonkers requests. In July 2024, Sierra Monroe was working at the cafe in Sam's Club in Henry County, Georgia. 2 minutes before closing, Adriana McKnight stomps in with her 2 daughters, demanding 2 pizzas. However, due to the time, the staff couldn't do that. Instead, they offered McKnight slices, which she rejected. When the manager didn't arrive immediately, McKnight marched into the kitchen and attacked Monroe.
And when she comes into the kitchen, she swings on me.
Eventually, the cops arrested her. One of her daughters, Victoria Wilson, who was pregnant, was brought to the hospital. Police issued a warrant for her arrest.
I just feel as if we need to have security from the moment we open to the moment we close.
Bus sprawl.
Man, I have a lot of sympathy for people that work in the service industry. Like my very first job was at a Gap, I think, as a sales assistant. And, the people, most of the people are fine, but not a lot, but a good amount of people are just so entitled and rude. The way they talk to me, I remember one time I was only 16 and this guy was like, "Oh, I want you to go into the back and check if you have this size." And I was like, "Everything we have is out. No, go to the back." So rude. I was a kid. I definitely have a lot of time and patience for service staff because they put up with a lot.
Police say a Dash driver got into a brawl with a rider after that rider attacked her.
Some Karens try their best to get services and items
pull up your trousers
for free and then throw a tantrum when that doesn't happen. But the opposite happened in Los Angeles, California in May 2024. A Karen got onto a Dash bus, a free fare service. She then offered to pay the driver $1 to use it. However, the driver declined the cash since it was gratis. Well, that caused Karen to attack the driver.
Police were called.
Hold on, so the driver didn't want to take the money? The driver would have let the passenger on for free? Or am I misunderstanding it? And she got angry because they wouldn't take her money?
And responded to the scene.
Footage of the battle of the bus swept online as the driver got the woman off the vehicle and a scuffle ensued. Eventually, the employee got the upper hand and Karen's things were chucked at her. Later on, Karen was arrested. Racists in the sky. Airplane cabin staff.
I think that might be the first time I've ever seen someone angry because somebody wouldn't take their money. Usually, if someone tells you, "Oh, you can come for free, you don't need to pay me," you're like, "Thanks." Or at least I would be, and I'm sure you would be as well.
Travel all over the world. dealing with passengers from various races and backgrounds. Yet somehow, some can still be racist, as evidenced by a video recorded in 2022, but which did not get noticed until March 2024. The short clip showed a white woman, Holly Walton, mimicking a Chinese accent and offensively stretching her eyelids at the camera, operated by Lauren Bray.
Give me wine!
Apparently, they were mocking a Chinese family who struggled to order drinks. Unsurprisingly, the video drew outrage from the public and their employers, British Airways, who called them in for a meeting and fired them. A friend of Miss Bray's claimed the video was manipulated by a feuding colleague, so there may be more to come about this. Unleashed racism.
Oh man, I mean that's kind of, you can't do that. They're just trying to order a drink, you know. Come on.
In Los Angeles, California, dogs need to be on a leash when in public areas. Well, some Karens think laws like that don't apply to them.
There is actually a California leash law.
In February 2024, Cindy released a TikTok of her interaction with Denise Olin, a neighbor she seemingly had issues with. As she was walking her dog, she noticed Olin's dog was unleashed and asked her to put one on the pup. Instead of making this simple, law-following request, Olin went off on a racist rant, telling Cindy, who's Asian, to go back to China.
We don't want you on this block.
Cindy has been living in the U.S. for 20 years and doesn't have Chinese heritage. The video went viral, and according to Olin, the police spoke to her and she apologized.
You understand English?
Hold on a minute. So she's got an English accent. So she's not even. So you told the woman of Chinese heritage to go back to China, but you yourself aren't. You weren't born in America. Like.
And idiotic.
Oh,
when
my
intoxication
God.
and Karen-ness mix, everyone is in for a bad time. In June 2024, a very under-the-influence Luana Ottoni attempted to get on a plane at the Belo Horizonte International Airport in Confins, Brazil. However, after the lawyers showed her boarding ticket and approached the jet, she stumbled. With that, the staff stated she was too intoxicated to fly and got her stuff from the plane. Did she take it well? No, of course not. Ottoni screamed racial insults at the staff and belittled their job. She even attacked a worker, all while another employee watched and did little to intervene. Ottoni soon had to use her lawyering skills after the police turned up and arrested her for her dreadful behavior. Mean in Mississippi. You know what's noisier than a child grumbling in a restaurant? A Karen yelling about it.
Do you guys think there's more cases of Karenitis than before, or is it because of like phones? Like everybody has a camera phone, so you know at any given moment you can pull it out and record a case of Karenitis. I'm not sure. I do think it's a bit of both, but it's probably more that we have more Karens out there. I do think that over the last 5-10 years, people have just completely, not everybody obviously, but a lot of people have just forgotten how to sort of behave in public. Do you agree with that? Or do you think it's just more the fact that everybody has a phone now, a camera phone?
June 2024, on her TikTok account, Maddie released a series of videos about her Karen experience while dining at the Mexican restaurant Jalapeno Grill in Mississippi. Even with the other diners on Maddie's side, Karen screams obscenities at her for having the audacity to bring her child for food. Some Good Samaritan customers even stood between them to stop Karen from getting physical.
The whole restaurant literally rallied against this woman.
At one point, Karen complains that the kids' noise made it difficult for people at her table to hear her, which they're probably grateful for.
The lady was like, I can't hear over them effing kids.
Eventually, security officers arrived. After she refused to leave, they detained Karen until she was arrested by the cops. Trad racist. The trad wife trend has been gaining traction in conservative circles. To each their own, but not when they use their platforms to attack folks.
I give my criticisms to all because we are all about equity and inclusion here, right?
In June 2024, Lily Gaddis was cooking something while chatting to the camera on TikTok. People looking for tips were in for a shock when she began ranting about gold diggers and then casually slipped in a racial slur.
So stop with the gold digger. Stop.
People reacted with outrage, and Gaddis's sarcasm.
What slur did she use? I'm sure they're not going to show it in this video. Which one was it?
Sarcastic apology video didn't help. Due to this terrible publicity, her employer, Roth of the Carolinas, a home health care service, publicly fired her. Gaddis later ranted about freedom of speech, which doesn't excuse someone from consequences, and later begged for sponsorship by using the same slur again.
Wow.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe.
So she clearly didn't learn any lesson. I mean, she just dropped it again on Twitter.
To our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
I think I know which one she used, because broke ass, and I'm sure it was the N-word.
The option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Fashion police. It's a rarity when the joke phrase, "and then everyone clapped," is actually used in real life. Yet, that's what happened in April 2024 at a restaurant in St. George, Utah. Ida Lorenzo had taken exception to Avery Leroy's skirts. She pulled it down without warning, using children seeing the outfit as an excuse and flashing her state ID badge as an authority.
A tense confrontation followed.
Later, when speaking to the cops, Lorenzo told them she got a standing ovation in the restaurant after this. Rather than give her a parade for her imaginary heroics, the police charged her with battery. On top of her legal woes, Lorenzo was fired as a legal secretary for the Utah Attorney General's office, a position she'd only had for a month.
No one should ever go up and put hands on someone else based on their disagreement with what they're wearing.
Can you predict what the most unhinged Karen story of 2025 will be? Let us know below.
The woman eventually left the Panera Bread before Downers Grove police arrived, but she was arrested Sunday and charged with 2 counts of hate crime.
Did you enjoy this video?
Man, that was yeah, just sad, you know, like some of the behavior on display. It's just like, why can't we just like live and let live, you know? So what if somebody disagrees with you or wants to live their life differently? Just, who cares? Like, you're probably never going to see him again. Just, you know, go about your business. But, you know, the woman who, you know, like, she just, the fact that the people in the store were Palestinian was enough just to send her into that rage was just crazy. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.